Welcome to the second session. The first session was so awesome, it was so great, it was just awesome stuff, so we say. Now we are coming to the second one, which is entitled Education is not an option, but it's a necessity. But firstly, let us begin it with simplicity. Yeah, simplicity. One man once said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Now, we started with where there's a mess, there's a message. I have noticed in most of our lives, in my life, in your life as a viewer, if you look deeply in some of the mess you've been through, you will discover the message. Now, how do we discover the message? Example, if I am born in a family where when I wake up in the morning there is no bread, that is a sign that when I wake up I need to own a bakery. I think if I grew up in a family where dad and mom couldn't afford to buy me shoes, it means when I grow older enough and grow up, when I decide to do business, it is better for me, or I will succeed better if I start a shoe business. Now, where we are broken down, it's where we are going to break through. I have learned this about life. It is that when you break down in school, most of us, we break down in school, break down, grade 11, grade 12, we don't make it, somewhere in tertiary, we fail 2 or 3 subjects, but after that, we quit and we give up. But one thing I've learned is this: winners don't quit and quitters don't win. If you want to win, you don't quit. If you quit, it means you are not going to win. But we are saying education is not an option, but it's a necessity. It's like salvation. You see, in South Africa, it's very nice because without education, it becomes a little bit hard. Why? We may be gifted, we may know how to speak, we may know how to sing, but we need education to excel because we need to reach a point of excellence. Now we look at the relationship between Paul and Timothy in the Bible. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verses 15. Paul is saying to Timothy, study to show yourself approved, a workmanship without shame, rightfully dividing the word of truth. Now we are understanding that education is not an option, but it is a necessity. It's like education is our ticket. It's like education is our passport now for us to move from point A to point B. You need another paper. This is a saying I love, which I designed for myself. You need another paper to make another paper. It means, why do you go to school? You are going to school to get a paper. And now, why do you need that paper in school? In order for you to get another paper. Now you must get a paper to get another paper. Now, it's easy as it is. Which paper are we talking about? Get money. Why? Every certificate, I've never seen a certificate made out of gold. I've never seen a certificate made out of steel. Every certificate is made of paper. Now, you get a paper to get a paper. It's South Africa. That is how we do things. We get papers to get papers. The more you get papers, the more you get another paper. Just to say, and great stuff it is. But education is not an option, but it's a necessity. Now, I believe that if you grew up with your mother not knowing what a medical aid is, it's your job to introduce her to one. If she have never been to a restaurant, it's your job to introduce that lifestyle. It is your job as a person, but you need education. Now I ask myself, why so many Christians don't like this Bible called the King James Version? Now the King James Version, most people, they don't like. They love Good News, they love Amplified, they love NLT, they love NIV, but Good News, no. The reason is very simple. You see, the English in Good News is very mind-blowing. The English in King James is heartbreaking. It's like you find words like contemplating, you find words like comprehending, you find words like ye, thee, thou. So without education, it's becoming even harder to understand the Bible itself. You look at Genesis chapter 6. When you look at it, you find that God is talking to Noah. Noah built an ark using gopher wood. Then he say, make it to be 6 millimeters wide, 10 centimeters width. So if you didn't do physical science, you won't be able to understand what is height, what is width, what is breadth in the Bible also. So even if you don't want to get education because now you are called of God, just go to school and get education in order for you to understand the same Bible. It is very hard. But one thing about education I don't like is this. When a person is driving a car and he owns a PhD or has a degree in law, when they pass another car, you see, when there's another car in front of you, and then you are following that car, and when that car is slow, when you pass that car, you are taking over. But many people, they say we are overtaking. That's not good English, because English, there is no word in the dictionary that says we are overtaking. We are not overtaking, but we are taking over. It's like I'm taking over now. So we need to understand that it is through education that we will understand such things. But education, there are most important things that they don't teach us in education. School does not teach you how to sit. It does not teach you how to eat. It does not teach you many things. It does not teach you how to talk to people. You need morals and ethics. Now you need to be taught. Schools give us what we call formal education. But life gives us what we call informal education. And in order to make it, we need to have both education systems. Do you know how irritating it is sometimes? Maybe it's not irritating you, but it irritates me sometimes. A person is 40 years old, but every time they chew their food, they don't close their mouth. And schools don't teach you that. It's like teachers, while you are busy chewing, they just look at you. And then they say, it's not our job to teach you that. Life will teach you. Now, one thing I love about life, it is this. Life is the greatest teacher. Somebody said, experience is the greatest teacher. But I said, experience is the greatest teacher, yes. But the fees are too high. It means that in order for you to learn something, you must experience it. But the prices you pay to get the experience, it's very high. Because many people, they wanted to experience, others died while experiencing, others lost their legs while experiencing, others, they lost their eyes while experiencing. You see how expensive experience is. Sometimes we don't have to experience, but we are saying education is not an option, but it's a necessity. In order for you to make it, in order for you to get a breakthrough, you need education. And so to say, you have a vision for a reason, but you must wait for your season. You have a vision for a reason, but you must wait for a season. What is a vision? A vision is knowing where you want to be. There are many people who say, I want to be a doctor. Another will say, I want to be a lawyer. Another would say, I want to be a writer. But mission says, this is what I need to do to get there. Everybody has dreams, but they are not prepared to pay the price. Before you can do anything, look at the price tag. Now, I love it when I go to the shop, you look at the jacket. And when you look at the jacket, oh wow, the jacket looks so good. Wow, the jacket fits so well. It's a leather jacket. But when you look at the price, you find, hey, the prices are too high. Now look at the price tag. Before you even write your dream down, look at the price tag and ask yourself, am I willing to pay the price? Am I willing to sacrifice friends? Am I willing to sacrifice nights? Am I willing to put some things on pause? That is the price tag. You have a vision for a reason. Wait for a season. Now, we are serving a seasonal God. A God of timing. A God of time. Who respects time and who honors time. So stick to your vision. You can lose your parents and still make it. You can lose your clothes, your gadgets. You can lose your cars and lose money. You will still make it in life. But when you lose your vision, you are done. A person without a vision is the poorest person ever. There is a saying that I created for myself. It says, you are so poor in life. A poor person is not a person without money. But if I would meet this person, I would say, you are poor, that you are so poor in life that you can't even pay attention. Because most of us know we are so poor, we don't even pay attention. When people are talking to us, we can't pay, because you must pay something. Everybody is paying. It's either you are paying the bills, or it's either you are paying something. But the most important thing, pay attention. Pay attention to life. Pay attention when people are talking to you. Pay attention when you are being advised. Pay attention. But education is not an option, but it's a necessity. And you won't see a need for education until it's too late. Right now, maybe you are age 18, 22, 25. You don't see education as being important. But the day you become responsible, the day you have to put bread on the table, the day you have to put a plate on the table for somebody else, that is when you will discover that education surely was important, or is still important even now, because you were advised by older people back then telling you, go to school, Tumelo, go to school, Tumelo, go to school, go to school. But you did not understand or see the value of education then. But when you have to pay the bills, when you have to put food on the table, now you discover that education is not an option, but it is a necessity. Without education, we are nothing. Without education, we are doomed. Education is not an option, but it is a necessity.